One of my relatives died suddenly. I have never met this woman. She had a 4-year-old daughter. The girl's name was Yuki. Her father couldn't raise her on his own, so he asked my aunt to take care of her. The girl refused to be alone and never left her aunt. This began to turn into a problem. My aunt couldn't go anywhere without Yuki. She constantly needed attention. Even my aunt's own daughter was getting jealous. One day my aunt told me that she had to leave town for a couple of days, and asked me whether I am babysitting a little girl instead. I said I'd love to. I lived alone, and I could use some company. A few days later, Yuki's aunt gave a lift to my apartment. As she left, she took the girl aside and said, "Yuki, please behave yourself." When my aunt left, I tried to talk to Yuki and play some games with her, but the girl's behavior was very strange. She held the teddy bear tightly under her arm and never let go of it. She never smiled. She never spoke. All she did was sit quietly in the corner and stare at the wall. I felt somehow uneasy. I tried to find something to entertain her. I just bought a new digital camera and decided to let Yuki play with his old one. When she saw the camera, her eyes lit up. I showed her how to use it and she walked around my apartment taking pictures of everything. A smile shone on her face. That evening, I realized how difficult it was to deal with Yuki. Whenever I tried to leave the room, she would cry and scream my name. I could not leave her alone, otherwise she would have made a big fuss. She even insisted on going to the bathroom with me, which was very embarrassing. Before going to bed, she refused to stay in a spare room and insisted on sleeping in my bed. I read her a bedtime story and after a while I managed to get her to sleep. It was then that I noticed her teddy bear. One of his legs was charred and blackened as if it had been burned. It got me thinking. In the middle of the night a strange noise woke me up. When I turned around, I saw that something was wrong with Yuki. The girl's body shook. Her eyes were wide open, her teeth chattered, tears streamed down her cheeks. I hugged her to me and asked what was the matter. "She's looking at me again," she muttered. "Who is it?" I asked in surprise. "A dark woman," Yuki replied. She said nothing more. I tried to tell her it was just her imagination, but she kept shaking her head and whimpering. It took me a long time to get her to sleep again. The next day, Yuki was fine again. She enjoyed playing with my digital camera. When it was time to go home, I told her that she could keep it for herself. Yuki hugged me. Although she said nothing, I could see that she was overjoyed. I dropped the girl off at my aunt's house and stayed for a cup of tea. My aunt thanked me for taking care of Yuki, and we chatted a bit at the kitchen table. "Poor thing," said my aunt. "She hasn't said a word since her mother died." I could not contain my curiosity. "How did Yuki's mom die?" I asked. A strange look came over my aunt's face. "She died in the fire." "How did the fire start?" I asked. "Well," the aunt hesitated, not wanting to talk about it. "This is a very sad story. She committed suicide. Yuki's mother was a very restless woman. She doused herself with gasoline and struck a match. She burned herself alive." "Oh my God!" I exclaimed. "Horrible." "Yes," answered the aunt. Her family was so shocked that everyone was hushed up and pretended to be an accident. We had a small funeral, but only close relatives were invited. Yuki was not there. She doesn't even know that her mother is dead. She thinks her mother is just on a long vacation. We didn't have the heart to tell her the truth. "Poor Yuki," I muttered. The aunt nodded sadly. "Poor Yuki." A few days after that, Yuki died. My aunt tried to change Yuki's behavior. At night, she made the girl sleep in her own bedroom. Despite Yuki screaming and crying, her aunt left her alone and locked the door. In the morning, she found Yuki lying motionless in bed. The poor girl was dead. No one could understand what had happened. The coroner was unable to establish the cause of death. There were no marks on her body. She was perfectly healthy. She just died mysteriously at night. There was no explanation. After the funeral, I returned to my aunt's house. Everyone was very sad. She returned the digital camera I gave to Yuki. I took it home with me. It was something that she remembered. The memory card was filled with random photographs that Yuki had taken. I scanned them, wiping the tears from my eyes. There were pictures of my apartment, pictures of my aunt's house, pictures of flowers, dogs, toys, candy, silly pictures that a child would take. Then I went to the last picture, and my blood froze in my veins. My hands were shaking. I wanted to scream, but nothing came of it. The timestamp on the photo indicated that the photo was taken on the night of Yuki's death. Here is the last picture the poor little girl ever took with my digital camera. Subscribe to the channel not to miss new stories.